Michigan's Attorney General Dana Nessel is sounding the alarm about a looming crisis that threatens the well-being of countless families. She warns of a New Year's time bomb set by the Trump administration, a policy change that could devastate families not just in Michigan, but across the entire nation, leaving many to face an uncertain future. This isn't about politics or partisanship, it's about whether people can put food on the table and whether children will go to bed hungry. Nessel is leading a coalition of states, joining forces with other attorneys general to fight a federal decision she calls both cruel and illegal, determined to protect the most vulnerable. The clock is ticking toward a critical deadline, one that could abruptly cut off food assistance for millions of Americans, just as winter deepens and needs grow. At the heart of the crisis is a plan to halt a vital program that helps struggling Americans buy groceries. A program that has been a lifeline for so many during tough times. For many families, this support is the only thing keeping their kitchens from going empty and their children from experiencing hunger firsthand. Nessel's message is clear and urgent. This is a fight for families, for children, and for basic human decency. She's calling on leaders and citizens alike to stand up for those in need. The Trump administration's refusal to release emergency funds during a government shutdown could trigger a wave of hunger, leaving people out in the cold, desperate for help. Nessel and her allies argue the administration has a legal and moral duty to act, and that its inaction will have devastating, long-lasting consequences for communities everywhere. The battle is on to protect food assistance before it's too late, as advocates and families brace for what could be a defining moment in the fight against hunger. SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, is America's most important anti-hunger program, quietly working behind the scenes to help millions of families put food on the table every single day. Formerly known as food stamps, SNAP helps low-income families buy groceries using an electronic card, making it easier and more dignified to access healthy food. It's not a luxury, it's a lifeline for parents, seniors, veterans, and people with disabilities, people who often face tough choices between paying bills and buying food. Imagine Maria, a single mom working part-time, juggling her job and caring for her children, doing her best to make ends meet. SNAP helps her buy milk, bread, and fruit for her kids when her paycheck falls short, ensuring her children don't go to bed hungry. Without SNAP, families like Maria's would face empty cupboards or rely on overwhelmed food pantries, which often can't meet the growing need in their communities. SNAP isn't just for a few. It supports over 40 million Americans, including children, veterans, and working families in every state. Good nutrition from SNAP helps kids learn and grow, helps adults stay healthy, and gives families hope for a better tomorrow. The money goes straight to local stores, supporting communities and local economies, keeping small businesses open and jobs secure. Farmers, truck drivers, and store clerks all benefit when families can buy food, creating a ripple effect that strengthens our entire food system. Cutting SNAP isn't just a blow to recipients, it hurts entire communities, threatening local businesses and putting more families at risk. SNAP is a bridge in hard times and an investment in our nation's future, helping people get back on their feet and move forward. Ending it would send shockwaves through every town and city, touching lives in ways we can't always see. That's why this fight matters to all of us, because when we support SNAP, we support each other, and we build stronger, healthier communities for everyone. The Trump administration's government shutdown has put SNAP on the chopping block. Unlike past shutdowns, the administration now refuses to use a $6 billion contingency fund to keep SNAP running. This means a total cutoff of benefits is set for November 1st, just weeks away. The move is a sharp break from previous policy where emergency funds kept food assistance flowing. The shutdown is a political standoff, but the fallout lands on the most vulnerable. SNAP is being used as leverage in a budget fight, a tactic critics call cruel. The administration blames Congress, but legal experts say it has the power and the funds to prevent disaster. By refusing to act, the administration is choosing to let millions go hungry. The consequences will be immediate and severe for families with nowhere else to turn. This is a crisis created by political gamesmanship with real people paying the price. Over 42 million Americans rely on SNAP, including millions of children, seniors, and people with disabilities. In Michigan alone, 1.4 million residents depend on these benefits, nearly half of them children. If the cutoff happens, all of them lose food assistance overnight. Food banks and charities, already stretched thin, would be overwhelmed. For families, losing SNAP means losing hundreds of dollars a month for groceries, money that pays for basics like milk and pasta. Seniors and people with disabilities, many on fixed incomes, would be hit especially hard. The impact would ripple through every county, from Detroit to rural towns. This isn't just a social crisis, it's an economic one. SNAP dollars flow into local stores and markets, supporting jobs and businesses. When that money vanishes, stores lose sales, workers face layoffs, and farmers lose customers. The loss of SNAP would destabilize families and local economies alike. The stakes couldn't be higher. Behind the numbers are real people, like the Johnson family in Flint, Michigan, whose story is echoed by thousands of others across the state. Mr. Johnson's hours were cut at the local auto parts factory, leaving the family with less income and more uncertainty about how to make ends meet. Mrs. Johnson stays home to care for their two young children, one of whom struggles with asthma and needs regular medication and nutritious meals to stay healthy. SNAP's $350 a month helps them buy fresh fruits, vegetables, and other healthy foods, essentials for their child's health and well-being, especially with medical needs in the family. Without this support, the Johnsons would face impossible choices, like skipping meals or buying cheaper, less nutritious food just to fill empty plates. Food banks do their best, but they simply can't fill the gap for families like the Johnsons, especially when demand is so high and resources are stretched thin. There's also the elderly veteran in Grand Rapids, living on a fixed income and relying on SNAP to afford heart-healthy foods that help manage his medical conditions. Without help, he'd be forced to eat cheap, unhealthy meals that could worsen his health, making it harder to live independently. Or the college student in Ann Arbor juggling 2 jobs and tuition. SNAP keeps her focused on her studies, not hunger, and gives her a chance to build a better future. For all of them, the SNAP cutoff isn't just a policy debate, it's a direct threat to their health, stability, and future opportunities. These stories are repeated in every corner of Michigan and throughout the nation, affecting people from all walks of life. SNAP is more than a government program, it's a lifeline that helps millions of Americans put food on the table and maintain their dignity. Ending it would shatter lives, hopes, and the sense of security that so many families depend on. That's the true human cost of this political fight, a cost measured in empty plates, anxious faces, and futures put at risk. Attorney General Nessel calls this a New Year's time bomb for a reason. The SNAP cutoff hits just before the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, when families gather around the table. Instead of joy, millions will face anxiety and empty cupboards. As savings run out through November and December, desperation will grow. By January, many will have nothing left. Food banks will be overwhelmed, shelves bare, and lines out the door. The safety net will snap under the strain, creating a public health crisis. The economic fallout will deepen. Grocery sales drop, jobs are lost, and the spiral continues. More people will need help, but the main support system will be gone. This isn't a one-time event, it's a chain reaction of hardship. Nessel's warning: this crisis will explode into a full-blown disaster if nothing is done. The time to act is now. Attorney General Nessel isn't just warning, she's fighting back in court. On October 28th, Michigan and 25 other states filed a federal lawsuit to stop the SNAP cutoff. Their argument: the USDA is legally required to use its $6 billion contingency fund to keep SNAP running during a shutdown. The lawsuit claims the administration's refusal violates federal law and the Administrative Procedures Act. The states are seeking an emergency court order to block the cutoff before November 1st. This coalition is bipartisan and nationwide, showing the seriousness of the threat. States argue the federal government is unlawfully shifting the burden onto them, risking hunger and public health crises. The legal fight is a race against time, with families' well-being hanging in the balance. Nessel and her allies are fighting for the principle that no American should go hungry because of politics. The outcome will shape the future of food security in America. At its core, this crisis is about who we are as a nation. It's not just about budgets, it's about people, our neighbors, co-workers, and children. Leaders like Attorney General Nessel remind us that government's true strength is measured by its compassion. Ensuring families have enough to eat isn't partisan, it's a basic human responsibility. SNAP is a statement of our values. In a wealthy nation, no one should go hungry. The coalition of states is standing up for fairness and justice, refusing to let millions be put at risk. This is a call for empathy and action from leaders at every level. We must demand our government put people before politics. The New Year's time bomb can be defused, but only if we act together. Compassion must prevail. The health and dignity of millions depend on it.